Amidst the ruins of abandoned buildings, a lone Russian soldier was searching the area. Meanwhile, an FPV one-way attack drone had already been launched, with the operator swiftly directing it toward the Russian infantryman's last known location. As the drone released its payload near the area, the opposing soldier panicked and attempted to flee. However, it was too late. The FPV drone locked onto its target, performing sharp maneuvers as it closed in rapidly. Just before escaping, the soldier made a desperate attempt to evade, but it resulted in a powerful explosion. The sun was just rising over Ukrainian territory as Ukrainian special forces set out at first light. Their target was enemy positions identified in the Novo-economic countryside. Upon arriving in the area, Ukrainian special forces swiftly surrounded the opposing soldiers. A fierce exchange of fire broke out shortly thereafter. The Ukrainian forces had previously conducted intelligence operations in the area and were aware of the opposing soldiers' positions and the routes they were likely to take. Thanks to this intelligence, the Ukrainian soldiers advanced safely toward the enemy target. As they quickly surrounded the area, the first losses among the opposing soldiers occurred. The units also engaged the Russian forces with rocket launchers, breaking their resistance entirely. The Ukrainian unit continued to advance cautiously, using hand grenades against enemy infantry positions to ensure full security. Within a short time, the soldiers had neutralized all Russian infantry, and the area was cleared of opposing forces. With the operation complete, the soldiers moved toward the command center. A Russian soldier targeted by an FPV drone appears uncertain and runs directly toward it. A Russian soldier was targeted by an FPV drone operated by Ukraine's 3rd Assault Brigade. Upon noticing the pursuing drone, the soldier attempted to evade it for some time. Despite carrying out various maneuvers and avoiding multiple approaches, he was ultimately unable to escape, becoming the drone's final target. A Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicle fired a bomb with high accuracy at a Russian armored vehicle. The bomb dropped from the drone entered the open hatch of the enemy vehicle, causing a powerful explosion. The Ukrainian army targeted multiple Russian armored military vehicles on the eastern front using drones. Soldiers employed both FPV one-way attack drones and bomber drones in these operations to carry out effective strikes on enemy armored vehicles. Bomber drones are tactical drones capable of carrying small but effective explosive munitions to be deployed on targets. Russian soldiers managed to shoot down an incoming Ukrainian one-way attack drone at the very last moment. The Russian army has been consistently targeted by Ukrainian drones since the beginning of the conflict. Novopetrovka, Belgorod Oblast, Russia. A mine bridge was destroyed by a drone strike carried out by Ukraine's 3rd Heavy Mechanized Brigade, formerly known as the 3rd Tank Brigade. Ukrainian fiber-optic FPV drones, operated by the Signum Battalion, struck a Russian soldier and multiple light vehicles in the Lyman direction. On a logistics route used by Russian soldiers, another Russian military vehicle was targeted by a drone. The soldier managed to exit the vehicle and escape at the last moment. This time, an FPV drone targeted a Russian soldier traveling on a motorcycle. In the village of Katarinka, Donetsk region, Ukrainian FPV drone operators engaged in intense combat against a Russian mechanized assault. Among the Russian vehicles was a rare BMP-3 equipped with advanced 4S-24 Cactus reactive armor, as well as a BMP-2 that had managed to enter the settlement. One by one, Ukrainian drones struck with precision, disabling and neutralizing their targets. Out of the 5 Russian armored vehicles involved in the assault, 4 were successfully taken out of action, leaving the attack in disarray. The 414th Strike UAV Brigade launched an attack on a Russian position that had been engaging Ukrainian defenses for an extended period. Russian artillery units stationed at the site were targeted with FPV drones. One by one, the Russian artillery systems at the position were being systematically taken out of action. Despite being well camouflaged deep in the forest, Ukrainian reconnaissance drones revealed all their positions. The next target, a mortar, was also taken out by the drones. million-dollar Russian military assets are destroyed within seconds by drone strikes. This time, a drone targets an armored Russian vehicle transporting an artillery unit. The vehicle is moving to deploy the unit at a different position, but it has already come into the drone sights. Ukrainian drone operators patiently wait for the right moment to strike. When the Russian armored vehicle comes to a halt, the drones spring into action. The first strike hits the vehicle, disabling its movement. Immobilized, the armored vehicle becomes trapped, and the second strike directly targets the artillery unit it was transporting. Now caught in a trap, all subsequent strikes focus on disabling the armored vehicle. The Russian vehicle catches fire and is rendered inoperative. No Russian infantry are seen exiting. It is likely that the hatch became stuck, trapping them inside, or the blast impact may have left them incapacitated. As you can see, no matter how heavily protected the Russian armored vehicle is, once it loses mobility, it becomes highly vulnerable. The drones take full advantage of this, effectively trapping the soldiers inside. Technology is rapidly transforming the nature of modern warfare. July 23, 2025. A notable incident took place following an operation by Ukrainian forces in a wooded area. The event served as visual evidence highlighting the difficult conditions faced by the opposing Russian forces. A Russian soldier witnessed his comrade being injured during a drone attack on their position. His goal was to protect himself from further attacks and survive. However, upon reaching the entrance of the shelter, he was forcefully stopped by another soldier from the same unit. The soldier firmly shouted at the wounded man, ordering him not to approach the shelter entrance. He then physically pushed him to the ground. While the wounded soldier was lying on the ground in pain, the other soldier struck him multiple times and shouted harsh words. He then drew his weapon and warned, "If you keep coming, I'll fire." The most disturbing detail was that the attacking soldier intentionally left his wounded comrade outside the shelter. At the time, it was known that Ukrainian FPV tactical drones were continuing to scan the area and identify new targets. The wounded soldier remained exposed and vulnerable just outside the shelter, effectively left in harm's way. Because he was not brought into the shelter, he was unable to receive assistance and became a direct target of a subsequent strike. In the latest FPV tactical drone operation carried out by Ukrainian forces, the Russian soldier who had been pushed away from the shelter sustained critical injuries from the explosion. Despite his condition, he attempted once more to reach the shelter. However, the other soldier remained unyielding and refused to allow him inside. Shortly afterward, the wounded soldier succumbed to his injuries. This tragic act of abandoning an injured comrade highlights the growing war fatigue and psychological strain within the ranks of the Russian military. New footage has just been released from the Flying Skull team showing the elimination of an enemy combatant in an open field. Despite attempts to flee, the individual was unable to evade the strike. Ukrainian drone operators once again demonstrated exceptional skill and precision in a high-stakes environment. Ukrainian FPV drones are activated after detecting the presence of a Russian soldier. The soldier begins to flee upon noticing the incoming drone. The drone operator carefully tracks the target, navigating through the air to execute a precise approach. The panicking infantryman struggled to run. The FPV drone managed to catch up with the Russian soldier in a short time. The infantryman kept making sudden maneuvers, almost spinning around his own axis. The drone operator continued to pursue the soldier with determination. He was trying to tire him out further. The Russian soldier attempted to use a small tree for cover, making quick maneuvers around it in a desperate effort to evade detection. The drone operator moved with precision and restraint, waiting for the right moment. With the soldier gradually losing strength, the operator continued to press forward. Eventually, the Russian soldier could no longer flee and resorted to crawling among the tree branches. The drone maintained its position, rising and adjusting its angle to keep the target in focus. However, the infantryman showed notable resilience, despite clear signs of exhaustion. The drone operator executed a series of swift and unexpected maneuvers around the target, catching him off guard. The sudden ascent of the drone into the sky further disoriented the enemy soldier. The drone locked onto the infantryman and dove with precision between the branches of the small tree. Moments later, a powerful detonation took place. The enemy infantryman was neutralized as a result of the explosion.